Those first 6 minutes and your couple of goals, just what did you like about the domination of your guys' start today?
Yeah, I mean, I thought we were on our toes. Obviously got one there with the power play, and then, 5-on-5, I thought, throughout the night we were good. It was just, it's a weird game when you're in the box that much, and just long, with the reviews and the penalties, and it felt like it dragged on. So it was good for us to stay in it and find a way to win that one.
A lot of minutes for your PK guys tonight. What can you say about their workload?
Yeah, they were incredible. I mean, they got a bad bounce with a couple of those. One goes off a shin pad, and then, a nice bounce for them off the end wall. So it's a really good power play, and they were able to keep us in the game with some big kills throughout.
Did anything about the calls or the non-calls surprise you throughout the game?
No, I mean, some games happen like that. I mean, we're not going to agree with all the calls, and officials aren't perfect, and we're not perfect. So I think it's one of those nights where, it feels like they're going against you, and we get a 4-minute for high stick, it draws blood, and then we get a delay game over the glass. So some nights it happens like that, and you just got to deal with it. And I thought, we did a good job of just sticking with it.
I know every game's been different, but 3 straight wins for you guys. Last two, a couple really top teams in the Eastern Conference. Just what do you like about the way you're playing right now?
I think we're just giving ourselves a chance. We're working hard. I think we're working as a unit out there in all 3 zones. So we look pretty connected. So we just got to continue to do that. We got lots of games, lots of important points on the line. So we just got to keep going with this momentum here.
Back to your goals. I mean, you're always happy to score, but it seemed like after your second one, you had a pretty over-the-top smile reaction. What was it about that one?
I elbowed Rax in the head. I didn't see him when I celebrated, and he was making some funny noises when he was taking the elbow. So I had a good chuckle, but I couldn't get away from him. But yeah, that was a unique one for sure.
It worked out. Maybe you should do that more often.
Yeah, whatever it takes at this point. Yeah.
Obviously nice that we could finish it all the way to the end, especially with them tying it late there.
Did anything about the calls you guys got or non-calls surprise you over the course of this game?
No, it's the way it goes sometimes. Like I said earlier, I think we did our best in staying in it. Obviously, it took a toll on certain guys that kill a lot of penalties, and some guys had trouble finding a rhythm. But like I said, even though that they found a way to tie it late, and we stuck with it, and obviously it's nice to be able to finish it in overtime, which hasn't been kind to us this year.
That was a really hard-working shift that led to your goal in the third. Just take us through what you were seeing on that sequence.
Yeah, at that point in the game, you're not really taking a ton of risks in a tie game. You're just trying to be in the O-zone and I don't want to say waste time, but play simple and get pucks to the net. And saw Carl ended up with it, and he usually finds a way to get it there. He's really good at that, so I just drove the net and found a loose puck.
It was a lot of work for your PK tonight. Just what can you say about the workload and the grind of all of you guys out there?
Yeah, I think, for the better part of the year, our PK has been really solid and kind of a staple of our team that kind of gives us energy. And I think when you take, what do we have, 12 minutes or 14 minutes kind of PKs, they're going to score a few, which is the reality of good players in this league. But I think overall, when you take that many, only letting up 2 is a huge boost for us. And I think the bounces tonight weren't always there, and it was a good resilient win for our group, and our character really came through in the end.
It was kind of a difficult game maybe to find a rhythm. What are the emotions when Kris scores that winner?
Just jubilation, I guess. Especially him, 1200th game tonight is only fitting he scored. He's such a huge part of our team, and everybody was going nuts for him.
How proud are you of the way the whole team kind of kept their heads up and didn't get discouraged? Because a lot of things didn't go your way tonight.
Yeah, I kind of alluded to it earlier. This group has a ton of character, and it doesn't always show when things are good, or I think when things aren't going your way necessarily within a game, or when it shows. And I'm really proud of the way the guys bounced back tonight through tough, whether it be tough calls or bounces off the dasher in front of the net. We didn't let it get to us, and I think we just kept putting our best foot forward after each bad bounce.
That's 2 wins over 2 first-place teams now in a row. What does that say about your group?
I think it speaks for itself. We're playing, obviously the better part of December, we weren't really happy with how we were playing. But I think we know internally in this room when we're playing well and playing collectively as a group, we can compete with anyone in this league. And you look at the standings right now in the East, and you lose a game and you might be, the 3rd worst team in the division, and you might win a game and you might be in a playoff spot. So every point counts this time of year, and especially with how tight the race is.
You guys have had more success in overtime and shootouts the last 2-3 weeks compared to the first start of the season. What's going better in that area?
Yeah, I think we're just are getting better.
I think there's a confidence too. When things going the right way, everyone's more confident. Everyone is more like attacking mentality, and I think that's the reason why.
You mentioned that bounce off the boards, that we were bounced off the boards. It seems like during that losing stretch when weird stuff like that happened, the response wasn't necessarily there. Just what's been different in these last few games about the response after some adversity or just weird plays like that?
It's it's 2-1 game and it's 2-2 and it's like 0-0 game again. So we just try to it's still 30 minutes to play, and you just try to play one moment at a time, and we just stick to it.
Arturs, how are you feeling right now compared to maybe that stretch in November where the wins weren't there for you?
It is different, like when you're on the good side of the things, you feel much better. Every day is a much better feeling coming to the practice ring, and I think it's just like a moral boost, and you just want to build from it.
Artie, I know you appreciate all your teammates in different ways. When you see Erik Karlsson get 900 points, like Kris Letang 1,200 games, like what is it like playing with guys like that who are just legends?
Yeah, it's like 1,200 games. It's like, like as a goalie, it's like I think it's incredible. I don't think I've ever seen a goalie doing that, but that's huge credit to him. Being this late for such a long time and delivering, I think it's unbelievable. Same with Karl, 900 points by a defenseman. It's like incredible. That's what I'm gonna say.
How much of a role do you feel like officiating maybe played a role in the flow of the game in regulation, and what do you think it says about the team that you were maybe able to overcome some tough calls?
Yeah, no, I thought the guys did a really good job with it. It's kind of two parts on that. It's the guys killing the penalties, and then it takes when you have that many, when you spend almost half the first period killing penalties, like it can be a lot. But it also and the guys went out there and they did a really good job for the amount that we had to kill. But then it also for the guys that aren't killing penalties. It just ends up being it's tough. There's some guys that were really, really low there in terms of minutes in the first period, only because of just that's the fact that when you kill half a period, you guys are going to be on the bench. And so I thought a lot of those guys did a really good job of once we got going in the second, kind of finding their game, and it's not easy to do. And so. It's there's things that you can control and things that you can't. Like the guys, we got to control when we do have to kill penalties. We got to go out there and do a good job. And if you sit for a little while, you got to find a way to get into the game. And I thought guys did a pretty good job with that tonight.
Dan, talk about the impact Blake Lizotte had tonight, and in general since returning from injury on that line in particular.
Yeah, he's been awesome. I think it's. Now it comes as no surprise. It's I don't think he's taken a shift, a practice, anything off since the moment I've been here, and so he finds there's so many different ways he can impact the game, that he's finding a way to impact the game. And from the amount that he kills penalties to D zone starts, to, big face-offs, block shots, 50-50 puck battles, and then chipping in offensively. And that's just a little preview of the list. He's been great, and I think you feel it. I'm sure you feel it throughout the building. For guys that play the game that way too, it just creates momentum. And him and his line. It's not just him, but those three, when they go out there, they're just able to create momentum in a lot of different ways, and it's been big for us.
Kris Letang tonight, 1200th game, then the overtime winner. Just your thoughts about that, his night?
Yeah, no, it's. I guess first of all, 1,200 games in this league. It's it's incredible. What he's done. He's been doing it. For such a long time. I think him getting the game winner, was pretty fitting there today. And so it's he's a guy who, he comes to work every day. He's just, what you don't see is just how dedicated he is in terms of that preparation, in terms of that day-to-day, in terms of making sure he's doing all the right things and just to prepare. And so, special night, obviously, for him. Great to see him capped off there, the goal.
3 straight wins for you guys and 2 straight wins against division-leading opponents. Obviously, there's a lot of special teams tonight, but how do you feel about the team's 5-on-5 play these past couple games here?
Yeah. I think we're getting in the offensive zone a fair amount. I mean, I think every game's been a little bit different if you're just talking about the games so far coming out of the break. I still think that there's some layers there that we got to add in regards to, just some of the details within the offensive zone and just creating quality. But I do like the fact that we're there more, and I think that there's, for the most part, I think in order to get there, you got to be doing the right things, exiting your zone, coming throughout, making sure that you're not spending too much time in the D zone. And those are things that we've talked about and look to continue to improve. And I think it's taking steps, but at the same time, I think that there's plenty of room there that we can continue to work with.
Just what were your observations of Igor's debut with the club?
I thought it was good. I mean, it's a tough. You can't control it, but it's tough when you come into your first game there and there's a lot of excitement, and then like you're spend 10 minutes killing penalties and you're not a penalty killer in the first period. Like, I mean, it wasn't a lot there early on. I thought, that being said, I thought he got, as the game got going, he did start to show himself. You saw the speed, you saw the skill. He had some really good bursts there. I thought he was working away from the puck too, like working back, working to defend. So I thought it was good. I thought it was a good first game. I mean, I wish it would have been, maybe got him out. I wish he had the ability. He had been out there a little bit more. And maybe, I guess more than that, I wish there could have been a little bit more of a rhythm for him early on, being in the first game. But you can't control that. I thought he was one of those guys I'm talking about when you don't play much. Like it takes a lot there to sometimes get into the game. I thought he did a good job with it.
A couple of overtime wins in a row now for y'all. Do you feel like you're doing things differently, or is it just a matter of getting the results now that weren't happening earlier in the season?
Maybe a little bit of both. Yeah. I think it's, I think we, obviously tonight there, I thought it was, just getting that face-off win, starting with possession. I thought we had a couple looks there prior to the actual goal. And, I think we're definitely taking some steps. It always helps there when you have the puck a little bit more. So, obviously tonight it wasn't that long of a window, which isn't a bad thing. But, I think we're taking steps. That's what we want to be seeing. We want to continue to work on it and continue to evolve and get better in that area.